Passive income. Everybody wants it, but it doesn't always seem attainable for the average person. It either takes a large amount of money or time to really get some passive income coming in. Well, in this video, I'm going to give you some ideas on how you might be able to start earning some for yourself. So a few weeks ago, I posted a video on how I make $36,000 a year in passive income, and a lot of you let me know that you wanted to hear more ideas. So I'm going to give you 6 ideas, and hopefully one of them will work for you. Before we start, it's important to have realistic expectations going in. A lot of passive income sources either take a while to get going, or they're just really small amounts of money coming in at first. But if you diversify and have a lot of different sources coming in, or you really narrow your focus in on one source and put all of your time and energy into that, it can really grow. You don't have to be an expert to teach a class. You just have to be able to break down complicated topics into easily understandable takeaways. You could teach a class on what you do for a living. If you're a bookkeeper, you could teach small business owners how they can understand their profit and loss and grow their business.
There's no accounting for taste.
If you're a graphic designer, you can teach a class on getting started in Adobe Illustrator. Or maybe you have a hobby that you're really passionate about. You could teach woodworking, how to play piano, etc. Now, if you don't have the camera and microphone needed to film a course, you could ask a friend who has that gear to help you out. You could pay someone a flat fee to come film for you, or you could work out a deal where you pay someone on the back end some of your profits from your course. Now, there's a ton of platforms out there. I'm going to talk about 2 of them. The first one is Udemy. Udemy allows you to set your own course price, and it's a free platform to use. You get to keep 97% of the revenue generated when people sign up for your class using your own link. If they're just browsing Udemy in general and they come across your course and sign up for it, you'll just get 50%. Still a pretty good deal because you don't have to pay anything up front. Now, the downside with Udemy is I think it's best for people who already have an audience, already have some sort of following that they can promote the course to. Now, if you don't have any following whatsoever, I'd recommend checking out Skillshare. So on Skillshare, there are thousands of classes, but it is pretty easy to find topics that you want to learn about. So I think if you put together a really good course, it'll be a little bit easier to rise to the top and get people signed up for it. Now, the way you get paid is Skillshare will pay you based off how many premium minutes are watched. So they have premium subscriptions, and you can watch as many classes as you want with a premium subscription. And the more minutes watched from those kind of premium accounts, the more you get paid. Skillshare touts that their top teachers earn over $100,000 a year on their platform, but I'm sure that's a pretty difficult number to hit for most normal people. They do say that most teachers earn at least $200 in their first month on Skillshare, which seems way more realistic and not bad for some side income. I was thinking about making a music production course on Skillshare, so if you want to see like behind the scenes, the making of a course for Skillshare, let me know in the comments and I can try to make that happen. Okay, the other thing with Skillshare is if you refer people to sign up for Skillshare, you'll get $10 per sign up. So that's another way to make some money while you're promoting your class. Lastly, on this topic, if you're not sure what to teach, browse around on these websites and see what other people are teaching. Like I took a course on Skillshare about making a grilled cheese sandwich. So even if you think you do something that doesn't traditionally have online courses, well, there may be a niche for that. So check it out. If you're a creative type person or have an artistic ability, you could definitely turn that into passive income. I mentioned a few of these avenues in my last video on passive income, so whoever told you there isn't money in the arts is lying to you. If you have songwriting and music production ability, you can turn that into thousands of dollars a month by licensing music on sites like Artlist. That's what I do. If you're a good photographer or videographer, you can license the footage and photos on sites like Stocksy or ArtGrid. I also do that. If you're a graphic designer or illustrator, you could create logo templates, graphics, designs of any sort, and sell those on marketplaces like Creative Market or Envato, or even upload those to print-on-demand sites, which we'll get to next. Look at what's trending on marketplaces like Creative Market and see if you can create something similar with your own creativity, your own twist to it, and offer that on a site like that. While requiring some graphic design ability, you could create designs and upload them on sites like Society6 and Redbubble, where people could order your designs on pillowcases, shirts, mugs, yoga mats, whatever. As long as you own the software and have the ability, there's no overhead cost. You just create the designs, save them, upload them, and you are good to go. The site will do the rest. On Society6, you can set your own price for art and photo prints, but for everything else, they'll give you 10% cut. And then on Redbubble, you can set your price on everything. Now, what you can earn all depends on the quantity and quality of what you upload, but I think reasonably, you can bring in $25 to $50 a month, and if you are more prolific on these sites, you can definitely make way more. Once again, see what is selling, see what designs are trending, and then do your best to make your own spin, your own unique take on those trending designs. Now, this is really more semi-active income because it does require some managing, but if you already own assets like a house, a car, camera equipment, you can rent these out to earn some pretty passive income. Now, I'm sure you already know about Airbnb, but for cars, there is a website called Turo. Just like Airbnb is for houses, Turo is for cars. Turo reports that on average, people earn $545 a month renting their car out, which is pretty solid. So if you don't need your car for your daily commute, or you're able to carpool with someone, rent your car out. Or maybe if your family has a second car and you can get by with just one for a little bit, you could rent the other one out. Now this one is on the semi-active side of the fence because you are interacting with the customer and then you have to go drop the car off with them. So there's some work involved for sure. Okay, so if you don't have a car that you can rent out, maybe you have something like camera equipment. I made some decent cash in the past by just responding to a few messages and then meeting the renter down out in front of my apartment with my camera. And it worked out pretty well. It was pretty easy and painless. I made $170 just renting out one lens for like 30 days earlier this year. And I made $180 in 2016 for just over a couple of months. So instead of my gear just sitting on a shelf, I was renting it out, collecting a little bit of money. In bigger cities, you could rent out your own space for photo or film shoots. You could rent out your parking space. You could rent out a swimming pool. If you do have anything like this, I'll put a link in the description with resources on how you can rent all these things out. You ever drive along on the highway and you see a car next to you and it's wrapped in a really sweet advertisement? Well, that could be you. Platforms like Wrapify will connect you with ad campaigns. They'll wrap your car for you. You can decide whether it's a partial or full wrap, and based off how many miles you drive and where, you'll get paid per mile up to a certain amount. You generally have to have a 2008 or newer car and a clean driving record, and you probably have to live in a pretty big city. The downside is the campaigns, I think, are few and far between, but on average, most people make at least $50 a month throughout maybe a 3-month campaign. So if you're already driving, it could be a decent way to make a little extra money. Create a blog, a YouTube channel, a Twitch stream, a podcast, some sort of outlet that will provide value to people. The easiest way to build an audience is by offering something that people want. This could be entertainment.
Is that even a real gun?
Information.
All you should see is the fun.
The best of both, infotainment. Now with this method, I think it's definitely the hardest way to go about earning passive income because it can take a really long time before you're able to see any revenue, and it might not happen at all for you. You could spend years working on a YouTube channel and it never goes anywhere. That's definitely a realistic outcome. And so while it is a really hard way to earn passive income, it can also be the most rewarding. That's why I think it's best if you focus your energies on something that you really enjoy doing, so it's less of a chore and more of a fun hobby that you don't mind doing, even if it doesn't turn out to be lucrative for you. I have a lot of different interests, so I'm always reading books, blogs, watching YouTube channels, listening to podcasts, so I have a pretty good idea of what's out there and the niches that I'm interested in. So I recommend that you find a niche that you can bring some value to and find what platform best complements your skill set. So if you like writing, maybe a blog. So if you like writing, maybe a blog. If you like filming videos and talking to the camera, maybe a YouTube channel. You get the idea. So for instance, if you think most personal finance channels on YouTube are a little salesy and douchey and not really up your alley at all, maybe you just start your own. Chances are if there's something that you're really passionate about, there's probably a community of people online who are also passionate about the same thing.
There are dozens of us. Dozens!
Lean into what makes you a little different than everyone else, apply that to your platform, and start to build your audience. From there, there's a million different ways to make passive income, from ad revenue to courses to merch to Lightroom presets, link in bio. There's just endless ways to earn passive income. I see a lot of videos on YouTube about passive income talking about dividend stocks. And I did not want to talk about dividend stocks. I don't think it's an exciting way to make some money when you only have so much to start out with. If you have $1,000, the thought of getting $30 here and there is not super enticing, at least to me. I'd much rather take that $1,000 and bootstrap a business, pour it into a hobby that might have passive income potential. But that's just me. Well, I hope some of these ideas, at the very least, can help you start to think about how you may be able to earn passive income, even if none of these methods actually work out for you. Also, if you have extra time on your hands and you just want to earn money with active income, let me know in the comments and I will make a video about side hustles. That's it for this one. See you guys next time.